Let us now talk to Sharan Lillaney, independent SEBI research analyst, and understand what's his view on the markets technically. Sharan, talking levels, we did start flat on Nifty at 25,196, and yes, the indices are still volatile. Again, Bank Nifty was trying to support the market, but we see a lot of volatility there as well. The broader market's still trying to perform and help the markets. But what's your view overall on the stock-specific front? Because we see a lot of opportunities still stock-wise in the market.
So Mansi, yes, again, like I mentioned time and again, it's a good strategy to make a buy on dips because market structure is still intact. And there was a recent study on NASDAQ also, a person who has done buy on dips in the last year has gotten the highest return in the last 5 years. So since the structure is still intact, we are in a higher high, higher low kind of setting, and banks are definitely outperforming, and especially PSU banks even today. So I would suggest definitely look at the stronger names and do a buy on dip strategy. For today, I have two calls. The first one is RBL Bank. Again, it's looking very good. Has given a breakout, and since the time I've given, I think the stock is already up 2 or 3 rupees. So you can buy at current levels with a stop loss of around 260. Now, since the stock has moved up, you can move the targets to around 270 to 290 odd levels. Second is a short call, again Siemens. It's looking very weak on the chart, so you can short Siemens July futures. It has a similar chart structure to ABB, which had last week given a breakdown. So you can short at current levels with a stop loss of around 3150 with a target of 3050 to 3100 in the coming days.
Okay, so that's the take on both of those recommendations coming in by Sharan, a short coming in on Siemens. But Sharan, what are you making of Paytm? You know, the stock has been buzzing. It's up a lot in the last 5 sessions. In fact, it's up 11% in the last 5 sessions, and it has crossed that 1,000 mark yet again. What's your take on Paytm, and do you believe this 1,000 could be a mark where the stock could just hold on to for the time in the near future?
So last time, Sneha, we spoke about Paytm here only, it was around 9:30. I said whoever wants to go long can go long, but understand it's a very volatile stock. Though it is up in the last 4 or 5 trading sessions, again, the stock is volatile and is known to give very big kind of downsides also. It can move like 5 to 10% in a day on a downside. So whoever has bought at lower levels, I think it's a good time to take some profit off the table. At least 35 to 40% you should book out. The next resistance level is very close, around 1020 odd levels. Once it reaches there, and if it consolidates over there, then we can review it in the next 2 or 3 sessions.
Okay, taking a look at the Nifty next category, Sharan, a few stocks which are coming on the face of it on our radar is one, the real estate pocket and Lodha, Macrotech developers, particularly 0.5% to 1% gain as we see. And the other one is Adani Green, the third straight session where we see positive up moves in Adani Green, even in the volatile markets, 1043 over there. What's your technical view on both Adani Green as well as Macrotech developers?
So Lodha has seen a good reversal from a 50-day moving average. Again, if you see last month, Mumbai has registered the highest number of houses. Very positive for Lodha. It's majorly a Mumbai-based company. Again, good on price action, reclaimed all its moving averages, trading above the 20-day moving average, seen good volume accumulation in the last 3 or 4 days. So I think this trend can continue in the next 4-5 trading sessions. It has a slight bit of resistance around 1500 odd level. Once it reaches there, I think we can again review where the stock can move and how the index is behaving at that time. And in terms of Adani Green, one second. Again, the stock is moving above its 100-day moving average. From its lower levels, I think it's seen quite a bit of action from 770 to 1000 odd levels, making higher lows. So it is more or less at a resistance level. A breakout can be seen around above 1050, which is very close to where it's trading now, which can take the stock to around its 200 odd EMA, which is a resistance level around 1123. So the stock is positive. Whoever is already entered, I think you should keep a stop loss of around 980 on a daily closing basis because the markets are quite volatile, and stick to it. It's a hold rating at the time with a target of 1020, which can be again its 200-day EMN and a good resistance level.
Okay, so that's the take on Lodha as well as Adani Green. But Sharan, what about Shilpa Medicare? Recent news flow we've just received a few minutes ago, wherein the company has received the US FDA EIR for its Unit 6 in Bengaluru. The stock was up 5% when this news flow came. The stock has simmered down slightly. It's up about 3.5% right now. But Sharan, what's your take on the charts? Because last 1 year itself, a very big move is what we've seen on the stock. And ever since then, the momentum has reduced, although the stock has been going up. What's your take on the charts now, and what do you believe the pace of the up move, if at all that's something you're spotting, could be?
No, definitely say on the chart, the stock is looking very good. Again, it's made a high around 1000 levels. It's outperforming the Nifty from 10th of July after consolidation. It's quite a good consolidation of 2-3 weeks. It looks like accumulation followed by a good news. Again, given a breakout about 910 odd levels. But I would suggest whoever is in the stock, do please put a stop loss. It's very important to put a stop loss. The stop loss should be around 840 on a daily closing basis. I think it can retest its all-time high, and given the chart pattern, whenever a stock reclaims or retests its all-time high, it generally breaks it towards a new all-time high. So overall, quite a positive stock pattern. If anyone has, please stick to it, and it's a hold recommendation with a stop loss of around 830 odd levels.
Okay. Let's also take a look at the exchange ancillaries, and we did see a positive upsurge on BSE yesterday, but today again the stock is volatile. But at the same time, also keep an eye on Angel One, CAM, CDSL. Sharan, what is your view on the exchange ancillaries in particular?
Mansi, given the run-up in the whole sector, whole capital market sector, I think it's time for a pause and a good consolidation. It has run up. Stocks don't run up in straight lines. It's good to consolidate and go on sideways. So I think the sideways journey is more or less started for the next, I think, 4 to 5 trading weeks. And post that, we can actually review it. I don't see any major volume buying coming back in after the fall in BSE, MCX and all these. A very small bit of buying in, but they are definitely good consolidation. Over a longer period of time, given 5 to 10 years, it's an excellent sector to be, but you can definitely expect some kind of correction or profit booking in the next 2-3 weeks.
Okay, so that's the take on BSE. Other than that, some other stocks that are buzzing right now: Dixon, Bharti Hexacom, LIC Housing Finance is sprucing up quite well, up 2% as we speak. So is the case with Biocon, HPCL, Tata Power, Adani Green, Nestle. DMart has joined the list of winners today. 1% uptick coming in on this one. Sharan, what's the take on DMart on the charts? Because the numbers were quite mixed. Update was quite weak. And when the update came out for Q1, the stock saw a little bit of a dip, which is why post its numbers, we didn't see a lot of reaction coming in. But what's your sense on Avenue Supermarts on the charts going ahead? 4,072. Any visibility on the 5,000 level?
So Snehi, no, the stock is actually trading below all its moving averages. So once it actually reclaims its 200-day EMA around 4,100 odd levels, we can actually take a call for the upside. But given the fact of the downside, it was very quick back of commentary and results back to back from 4,500 non-stop. I think it touched a level of 3,950. So it's seeing a small reversal, maybe a short covering kind of thing. So I don't see too much happening in the stock, but definitely if it starts moving around 4,200 odd levels, we can actually see a reversal in the stock. But right now, I think it's a hold with a stop loss of around 3,950. A stop loss should be there in the system for 3,950, because if it breaks that, I think it can see lower levels up to 3,750, even 3,500 odd levels.
Sharan, moving away from the momentum players and talking about the defense and the shipbuilding space, what's just happening with these space? Because there was a time we did see a lot of good up move, people trying to wait for the situation where we get a dip and we can enter the defense and shipbuilding space. I mean, talk about GRSE, Cochin Shipyard, Masgao Dock, and the stocks were doing real good. If you also see the last 6 months trend of all of these stocks, around a 50 to 80% up move is what we have seen. Are the gains all done for the shipbuilding space? What's just happening with this pocket altogether?
So Mansi, since the last 2 weeks, I am actually giving a sell call because the stocks have run up too much and there is no geopolitical tensions around the corner. Generally, when you see around tension, you see a good rally in the stocks. But definitely as a sector who is holding on for long term as a vision for 5 to 10 years, you will get very good results and you can actually go for a buy on dip strategy. But currently, I don't see any upside left in any of these stocks. Yeah, even on good news days, you actually see a good gap up followed by a good selling coming in. It actually shows you that the strong hands are moving out of the sector. So nothing going ahead, definitely can consolidate and actually move downwards slightly 5 to 10% more. And if it consolidates there for over a period of 2 to 3 months, then we can actually review and see how the sector is performing.
Okay, Sharan, thanks so much for joining us in the studio with your take on where the market is headed right now on the technicals. With that, we'll step in.